Hi, welcome to TV Canada. With being here with me, with all of you, in my last visit to Nicole's apartment, and sharing this journey about our story and our friendship. It means a lot that I can do this, and I hope that the end result of what I produce will be worthwhile and not forgotten anytime soon, and that will make a difference in the lives of those who suffer either now silently. Or have passed away, and there's family that are needing closure or ways to know that they're not alone, uh, even though we might feel like it, we're not. So I'm trying to decide whether to read the whole Yesterday's Wednesday completely, because even at the funeral yesterday I got scared to read the whole long version because it's a lot. And I know that at the celebration of life that I do for her, I will get to read the whole thing then as well. And I have already audio recorded it, but I'm not going to get to be here again. So I don't know if it makes sense to read the whole long version here. Um, I mean, I have the rest of the day, right? I've got forever. But these are some of the last messages she had on her page. It says, I love you there on Yesterday's Wednesday. And then there's a picture of a scripture post. Matthew 7:2. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. And since uh, I am her fighter, I'm her warrior friend. I just committed to this, right? To make sure that it's measured back right for her, for me, for the years nobody was there to help me, that I had to grow up and live through struggles in order to become support worker, where I now help other people so that they don't have to struggle in a system where they're just sort of put to the side, and nothing is done, helped. When I cut my arms at 16, and I was in hospital, it was only because my mom had come home and seen me sitting in front of a TV that was off, with my arms out like this and fully wrapped from the wrist to the elbow. And there was nothing on the screen, and I'm just sitting there despondent because I was still alive after such a great effort, just off the results of one arm, and the doctor couldn't figure it out. Estimated 87 stitches just for the one arm, and he stopped counting after that because it was just too much on him. And she had to phone them to figure out why you would send home a kid after they did that. So they're like, oh, okay, we'll put her in treatment at this particular hospital. And basically, they just watched over me for 2 weeks in that place, and they just put food out on tables to try and get people to eat. So they wouldn't know if there was something wrong around the food issues anyway, if they see that you're eating your favorite stuff, like some sub sandwiches or the junk, the chips or whatever. And so after 2 weeks of monitoring over me, and me not being able to re-injure my arms because they were so severely cut up, I couldn't do anything anyway. They let me go. I think essentially that was like the only version of treatment of that nature in that time of my life that I had ever received. And so, what's pivotal with my friendship with Nicole now is I didn't get to talk about me. There's no talking about my side of the story, my life, and what was happening, because I had to be her warrior. She was brought into my life to help me to figure out how to control my urges, my um, inability to stop self harm in my lifetime, because I was 12. Like her, I was young. And no matter how many years it had been since I grew up, married, divorced, had a kid, whatever went on with life, there's always these things that were happening. But unlike her, I could never cut open the same place again and again and again and again. So those injuries from those arms in that time frame, that was permanent. Never again, right? Could not go over that, because it hurts so much more when you have to reopen the same tight skin where there's this big chunk of scar tissue. But because of knowing her, it helped me stop doing other things. And so now I'm inclined to have to talk about all of that between us in our history, to help myself to keep a promise to her and to talk about her in order to make a difference. So I think I'm going to read the poetry, and I'll save the big, huge talk for the big, huge celebration of life. And I want to read the human rights story. I'm going to click on it. This is a picture of my daughter and her and me. We're at the zoo, the Toronto Zoo. Um, and it says, never take a day of life for granted, not yours or the time you have with others. So I wrote it October 8th, before I found out she had passed away. A human rights journey, RIWRITES/RIGHTS journey. There's always more to write about our rights. I mean, what is right after all? As the pages turn, a new lease on life is there. In all the words and imagination, creativity lays to the pages, whether with words or another form of art. It's what fuels us, keeps us going from start to finish. Without this ability to express, unload, or explode in this way, how does one replenish? How does one reload? To be prepared for the next round of drama and grenades, it's necessary for us to be some kind of able. For each new day, we must be sharp and ready, like a balloon dart, to get past the obstacles in our way day by day. There's always a need to escape the irony of the cruelty of all things unfair. So write I will, create we must, until we take our last breath and our bodies return to dust. How do people live without a way to unload their journey along the way? I can only imagine all the images, thoughts, sounds, words muddled up in their hearts and minds, worrying around with no place to go. Of course, it's common sense that it would lead to decay of our society, sickness, and disease. We are made to feel and live in all the colors that can be made. My heart is now gloomy like a rainy cloud over me, for it's not enough to just write these words. It doesn't take the inequality of the situation out of the equation. It simply puts my thoughts at bay. But surely as I live, love, and breathe, I'm grateful I can pick up a pen. Oops, I'm grateful I can pick a pen up, in my hand and write down what I want, my soul's demands, letting out what's driving me mad. A human rights journey. So that's for me and for her. Um, I'm glad I wrote that. I'm glad I wrote those two pieces on that day. I'm glad I could do that for her and me. See, for me, I guess it's sort of like a little confession because I'd never officially been to any proper treatments. Sure, I'd been in and out of hospital during my using and recovery years, relapse, blah, 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 jails, institutions, or death, right? So I was always institutionalized because I'm not a criminal. So, but there was no real treatment, no therapy, and there is nothing here in Canada really. You got to have all that money to get all the finest care there is for things with the eating disorders and things like that. So every day people are dying and it's not talked about. You don't know about it. It's just all brushed off to the side. So I'm going to share the other one called New Beginnings. It's meant for the book called New Beginnings that I had titled in 2016, which was the year I stopped cutting. That's the last official year I did any harm to my body with razors of any kind. And this is hard for me because it's a confession to the whole world. I'm letting all of you know about this journey with me. And I was friends with her already and had been friends with her, I think, for like 2 years or so, even before my mom and daughter came to Toronto to join me when Sarah was getting into kindergarten. And I couldn't talk about any banging or hitting or smashing of my body or anything I would do randomly when I couldn't handle anything that was going on around me. Just these relapses, outbursts of harm, because she couldn't handle that, right? It would be too much for her if she had to be my warrior while she's suffering. So I had to keep it all in. And so this is it. Now I don't. And so I can do this from here at this place with her, as a monument of how hard I worked and fought and struggled to use that friendship and what she was put in my life for, to do this. now, so I can go on with saying it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay that somebody did something wrong to you, and it's okay to talk about it, that we need to talk about it. And so my promise to her is that now I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about me so I can help me, so that I stay well, and that I can talk about her and our journey together, and hopefully it helps other people. This might lead to a TED Talk. I don't mind reading the full talk in a TED Talk and explaining all this stuff to people on a stage. If that's the destiny ahead of me for her and me and this journey, then I'll accept that. So I'm going to close with the New Beginnings poem that goes with the book written. So this is about learning from mistakes, and repentance is available for us daily, right? So me coming all the way back from Vancouver, it doesn't matter how much it cost, right? Her life, her friendship, a part of my life, what she's done for me, and my still being alive and here to be able to confess and talk and help others for her, for me. It's everything. And so it's money is not an issue. Forget about it, right? You can go back to work and make some more. So new beginnings. This is what she'd want. This is her character. New beginnings. Beginnings, beginnings. And thus the new beginnings begins. Line upon line, precept upon precept, the story of truth tells itself. Where no lies can live, new beginnings can begin. Never does the moral of the story of truth end. It is never boring to learn what's right, to learn all things new, and to where all this perfect knowledge will lead the world to. Line upon line, precept upon precept, mistakes can be made so that through God we may learn how to make what is wrong right. Where no lies can live, new beginnings can begin. The story of truth will always tell itself. The story of truth will always win out. A testimony of time, what it means to have the past, clear the presence of mind between periods of history in understanding it correctly through diligent study, research, prayer, and thought. How amazing a gift it is, every 50 to 100 years, made clear, debts canceled, sins forgiven, all is new, and so the beginning begins again. Armed with more facts and experience of what we know is true, the truth-telling reality continues to shine through. Never does the moral of truth end. God's story of new beginnings will always win. Oh, come now, let the new beginnings begin. Whoever brings blessings upon this place will do so by the God of truth and grace. He who takes an oath in this land will do so where they stand in the name of the God of peace and faith. Come now, let us love and embrace. There's no more need for debate, for the truth is far too great. The proof is in every day that dawns, every smile and laugh we make, and every breath of fresh air we take. It's clear we're a chosen people, blessed and meant to be here. Timing is everything. To this truth there is no end. So let the new beginnings begin. Line upon line, precept upon precept, the story of truth tells itself. Where no lies can live, new beginnings can begin. And thus the new beginnings begins. Written by me, Jennifer Cooley. So obviously there was a huge connection between us in that day where people are arguing whether it was October 7th or October 8th, though the coroner called it for the 8th. I was home for that entire 24 hours. She was not alone. Her boyfriend was here, I think, until he had to go home, and she had already fallen asleep. And Sarah had messaged her, and she had messaged her that one message, I'm okay. And after I got told at 10:30 at night on October 8th, the Wednesday, which would have been Thursday her time, the next day when I woke up and it was confirmed with Carlos over the phone with me, it occurred to me she's gone. She's not okay. It was not okay. It's not okay. And so I'm telling all of you guys in my piece with her, this closure from here, from her front porch, that I'm not okay. My name is Jennifer, and I'm not okay. And it's okay to not be okay. And hopefully I can move forward and make a difference with that and helping to make it okay for others and hopefully me too. I love you, Nicole. I am here. I'm glad I made it to make this moment official between us and wherever you are waiting for me to come and find you again to give you your new health card back. So that's it for me from here. I have not eaten. I need to go do that. I'm freezing. The temperature's dropping. We got like little icicles falling. I need to go have a warm drink. So thank you for watching. Keep your eyes out for what's going to happen from here. I don't know. I need to find somebody who's an outsider to help produce whatever's going to get made out of this because I'm in too deep, right? I'm too invested in this to finish putting it all together. So that's it. Peace out, everyone. Stay warm, stay safe, stay well, and just make sure you know what's going on in your family's lives. Ask questions. How are you today? And really dig deep. Make sure you know when they're saying I'm okay, that they're actually okay and not just saying that, because it's not okay if they're not okay and they're saying okay. And as a society, we shouldn't be saying, oh, wait, it's okay to just live in a society where we're hearing people say okay when they're not okay and just accept that as an answer and that it's okay to live that way. Okay, so let's work together to do this new idea of it's not okay and it's okay to not be okay, but we need to talk about it, society. Okay, so peace out, everyone. Yeah, just enjoy all that time you have with your loved ones because you just never know how long you've got. Bye from now. For now, from Toronto, Canada, Superwoman signing out.